guys, so I wanted to make a stream showing you the skin of various people on the carnivore diet, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I look at this and people would say, well, if you're only eating raw meat, and I'm not on the carnivore diet, I'm not on the raw meat diet for sure, right? You guys know, if anything, I'm on keto, or I try to stick with keto. I also try to be gluten free because right now my skin is angry. Holy crap! I gotta take a picture of this. This looks freaking terrible. So, I will just show you this clip. I'm going to show you several clips. The link is in the description. So this is a man who's been on the raw meat diet for 10 years. In case you wonder what is going on behind me, that is actually the dishwasher. It's super loud right now. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to this guy's skin, okay?
There's a lot of talk these days about organic living.
Correct.
Yeah, well, this is my garden patch that I'm letting go this year.
And the sights of an organic home are all over Derek Nance's backyard.
There's your classic outhouse.
There we go.
And I got compost toilet.
There's a freshwater pond, garden, and chickens. Nothing really unusual.
I think I'm doing something right.
So let's take a look in his freezer and see what you think.
Oh, these are bones. Just chew on it. I haven't made it. Raw.
What I want you to notice is how supple this guy's skin looks like. It looks so radiant, so smooth, so radiant, so even colored. And I don't see any lines.
It's just so much easier for me to digest. And it's really good and really flavorful.
Nance has been eating raw sheep for almost 10 years. Slaughters and cuts them himself.
I'll just sit here and chew on one of
This guy, and where's his eye bags? I don't see much eye bags.
these for a while whenever I need a snack.
He keeps every part of the sheep. It takes Nance about a month to eat the whole thing.
Most of the meat off of it first. Sometimes if you hit it too hard, it goes flying everywhere. But yeah, this is the marrow. And just dig it out. Yeah.
Do you guys see how smooth this guy's skin is?
This is real good.
Is there anything you won't eat?
The bladder. I don't usually ever eat the bladder.
This guy, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but he has fantastic skin. I really believe that a lot of this stuff, it really begins with the diet, for sure. This guy definitely isn't using eye creams galore. I know this guy probably is not face masking galore. He has good nutrition, and he doesn't look dull. He doesn't look like he's tired. He looks very alert. He looks radiant.
Bladder, it's saturated with the...
Now that you know he's a legit carnivore, let's get to the meat of why.
Alright.
Nance grew up with a relatively common childhood illnesses and viruses, but he says his was worse, and by the time he was 20, the symptoms were more severe. He was down to 150 pounds and diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome.
I started studying other people who were into the raw aspect, and they said that
Okay, so let's pause right now, okay? This guy has less eye bags than me. His skin looks more even than mine's, and I don't see any trace of acne. You also notice, like, you would think, like, maybe a person who is on a raw meat diet looks sickly or something. He doesn't look sickly. He looks really good.
vitamins and nutrients and minerals and everything is more intact raw, and it's better and easier for the body to digest. That's real creamy.
He says it immediately solved his health problems, but he invests a lot of time finding the right sheep for his body.
I go out to the farm and I try to source local, organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised directly from the source, because I just need to see for myself where the animals come from.
He slaughters the sheep on the farm if the farm owner is okay with it. Otherwise, he kills his food in his backyard.
As far as I know, there's nothing that I'm doing that's wrong, and I've been doing it for the last 10 years.
According to the Lexington Fayette Ordinance, it looks like he's not doing anything illegal. He can slaughter sheep in his backyard because he has a fence up, and he doesn't force his 4 children to eat raw meat either.
My daughters will eat some raw meat, and they like it, and they like drinking eggs and stuff like that, but I don't strictly, push it on them. So they're free to decide.
And that's the thing about Derek Nance. He's not pushing sheep-eating propaganda on anyone. But it's a thing, and he's the proof.
So yeah, anyway, so the thing about this guy is things that stand out to me. He's eating grass-fed. He knows exactly where his meat is coming from. He cares a lot about quality, and he eats everything. It seems like he's eating the organ meats himself. He's eating bone marrow, and from what I hear and what I read, people who are on the carnivore diet, they need to eat organ meat. Some people they eat liver. They eat they eat the liver. They eat the brains. Asra Khanlu, who I'm going to show you in a little bit, she says that the brains have a lot of vitamin C inside of it. So yeah, and then so that's one. This was a video. This guy eats raw chicken. I mean, I can't believe it, but I do not recommend eating raw anything. I think it's less unsafe if you know where the source is, or if you can guarantee that. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. I'm not going to suggest that you guys eat raw meat. If you want to, just be very mindful about the source. You remember that guy? He says, like, his meat, he slaughters it himself. He's aware about how the meat is handled. He's aware of how the meat is raised. So he feels okay with that. Something like raw chicken, if you eat it from a supermarket, like, I wouldn't trust that for sure. But anyway, I wanted to show you this.
With 1 week of intense therapy, can specialist Mike Dow and after a pound of raw beef, eating whole steaks pulled right from the packaging.
See, I wouldn't do that, but notice how soft and supple this guy's skin looks like.
Even raw chicken.
Do you guys see that?
It isn't really normal for people to have the eating.
So this is his brother, okay? If you look at the brother's face, it looks kind of rugged, it looks kind of rough. He has more lines on his face. You see? I don't know if he's in the sun or what it is, but you can see his face doesn't look so glowy.
Daniel does.
Every year, 76 million people contract foodborne illnesses. Of these people, 375,000 are hospitalized, and approximately 5,000 die.
I'm really concerned that Daniel doesn't care that one day this
guy looks like he has very highly moisturized skin. I mean, I wish my skin looked that good without any serums or face fat waxes or anything like that.
could lead to death.
But yeah, his brother's skin looks like it's less moisturized.
That one day this could lead to death.
See, his face looks kind of rough. That's what the description I would use to describe his brother's face. It looks rough, not in rough like it looks bad, but it just doesn't look smooth.
In fact, Daniel scoffs at the thought of getting sick.
It's absolutely worth it to eat raw meat, even though there's consequences. Consequences are minor. I like to pull it.
I mean, this guy's skin, again, looks very even. It looks glowy. It looks supple.
To see the muscles. There's no real reason behind it besides I like the taste and texture.
Like, where's his pores? I don't see his pores.
It's like butter.
Daniel's love of raw food started when he...
Okay.
And I feel like I'm kind of unique and different from other people.
Okay, he looks like he got that crazy look in his eyes. But again, I don't think he's salting his meat, and you don't see the eye bags.
And discipline. And I feel like I'm kind of unique.
See, it's like I don't really see much eye bags. Skin looks nice and soft. And then there's a brother again. Let's see if I can get a picture of the brother. Okay, this is the brother indoors. Let's see the brother indoors.
I'm kind of concerned about my brother's eating habits. He likes to consume massive quantities of raw meat.
Is he aware of the health consequences of eating raw meat?
He's been told a lot. I just think he doesn't care.
Daniel's raw meat eating habit is incredibly dangerous. The parasites, the bacteria, sooner or later, if you eat raw meat, you're going to get sick.
One of the things...
Okay, so the brother looks better in this, right? But it looks like he has some lines on his forehead.
I'm also concerned about is that, he doesn't have a stable job, so he's buying whatever meat he...
Do you see that line on his forehead? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky over here.
Get basically. So it might not be the highest quality. So
You could eat carpaccio, you could eat steak tartare.
I gotta get a
if you're
closer look at the brother's
choosing
face.
very high quality meats prepared by professional chefs. But Daniel is going and buying the manager's special, the cheapest, oldest meat.
Why don't we go meet him?
okay, let's do it.
Okay, you know what? The brother's face, I maintain the brother's face looks more rough than the raw meat eater guy. The raw meat eater's guy's face looks more hydrated. That's the way I would describe it. It looks more hydrated. It looks like it's smooth to touch. Yeah, but I don't think it is I don't think it's just raw meat, because I think it has to be, I think there's also organ meats involved. I think there's also fats involved. We don't know exactly what this guy eats. Maybe he just eats, I don't think he eats lean meats all the time. Look, he eats eggs. See the eggs over here? He has some eggs on the top. See that? So yeah, no, they didn't say what exactly he fully eats. We just know he eats raw meat. So that's that guy. And then this is Asra. You guys know I follow her. She's 49 years old, okay? She's on the carnivore diet. I really respect her because she's been playing around with her diet. I've been following her about a year. If you look at her videos, you might be like, oh, Erica, how could you be following her for a year? She only has like a few videos. She deleted all her old videos. I don't know why. I'm sad about it because I think she had a wealth of information in there, and I didn't watch every single video of hers. Like, I wish I did. But anyway, so this woman is 49 years old. She does not put any face serum on her face. She puts tallow on her face, but that's it. She doesn't use any special cleanser. She has her skincare video over here, and I wanted to show you how good her skin looks like for a 49-year-old. And her body looks great too. So what I want to pay attention to over here is when you look at her, you don't see puffiness on her eyes. You know the eye bags? Sometimes when you look at Americans, and I'm just saying that just because we're in America, you see huge puffiness. Even for my eyes. Like, I look at my eyes and I see the puffiness. It gets up there when I eat sodium. She has a 0 sodium diet. She doesn't eat any sodium, in fact. See, so look at the angles. Like, you can't see any eye bags.
You're so pretty daw, Ingrid. Kaya lang akala niya we're sisters.
So she looks absolutely radiant, in my opinion.
This is our dad.
She also said that being on the carnivore diet, she reversed a number of her white hairs. So she doesn't have any grays. She doesn't dye her hair either. See, do you see any eye bags on her eyes? I don't see eye bags. Maybe you see a little bit, but it's not nearly as much as some people you see on the street.
You can remember her? She braided us last time. Last Christmas.
Here, no?
Huwag mo siya lumikpit Minsan kasi masakit sa ulo. Nagkakaroon ko ng
And again, her skin looks very soft and supple.
sakit na ulo.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward it a bit so you can see a close-up of her face.
And I've realized I haven't eaten anything. We've been busy going around, seeing the sights, watching the sunset. Anyway, I have some food here, so I'll just grab my packed food and maybe eat it here in the room. This is what...
Okay, gonna be honest with you, the lighting isn't that great. If you saw me with that lighting, I look absolutely terrible.
we have.
But see how close the camera is, sir?
Pork,
Her face?
chop and pork fat. Extra pork fat. I also brought some eggs, but I think this should be enough for today.
You notice the trend here? She eats pork fat and eggs. I eat pork fat and eggs too.
Wait, I also packed my own utensil, my favorite wooden fork, so I'm gonna just use this for eating. And there are small plates inside the room. Great. Alright, let's make a nice little picnic here by the bed. Just gonna pour out.
Okay, see this angle? This is a very unflattering angle. Yeah.
This out.
If I had it angled like this, I would look, like I said, I would look absolutely terrible in this lighting and this angle.
You know what? I don't really.
So yeah, you can see a little bit of eye bag because you're looking downwards, looking upwards.
Eat. I'm so used to it.
But it's really not much at all.
Okay. But I tell you, this is so yummy.
So yeah, you can see this is her carnivore dieting over here. She's been on this for, I think, a couple years. Her husband, this guy, I know this is a terrible way for me to freeze it right here. He actually is, he's actually a doctor. So he is a medical professional. I believe he owns his own clinic in the Philippines. So yeah, actually a legit doctor.
Green part of the pork just so that to moisten it so it becomes like really extra juicy. Okay. You look like you want to take a bite. Yeah, it's so good. Oh, God. I really like this. I like the pork chop more. I'll give you some of the belly later. If I have leftover.
But yeah, she just looks great for 49 years old. Now, on the flip side, I bring up this woman a lot of times, but you guys know I'm really against like a high fruitarian diet. And I'm showing you this woman because this woman is, the next woman I'm going to show you is 15 years younger than this woman. Asra, yeah, she's 49. This woman over here is 34 years old. She's on a high sugar diet. She drinks smoothies galore. Oh. She's on a raw vegan diet, and she drinks a lot of smoothies, so that's a lot of sugars. I tried going on the fruitarian diet myself. I had to stop because my gums and my teeth were it was getting so irritated because when you eat fruit, it doesn't fill you up. So I was eating lots of fruit. I was thinking that I had a clean diet, but what I didn't realize is that I was having all this sugar and acid bathe my teeth constantly because I was just constantly eating fruit. So yeah. Look at all these fine lines. Look at her eyes. It's just terrible. Oh my goodness, that's so many lines. So this woman is 2 years older than me and 15 years younger than the previous woman. Lines, 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 lines. She looks very frail too. So yeah, anyway, point of this whole stream is I don't, like I said, I've said this before, but I don't fear animal fats at all. I feel like even for me, like I feel so much better eating a higher animal fat, animal meat diet. I'm almost done with my bacon. Yeah, I went through my bacon a lot faster than I thought I was. I find myself eating 2 strips a day, then 3 strips a day. And after I'm done with this bacon, like I'm not gonna buy bacon. I wanna like lower my sodium kind of thing. But geez Louise. It's very important to keep your diet in check because, like, although people might think, like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna eat fruits and that's it, and I'm not gonna have any animal fats, I feel strongly this. I feel like the skin does best having some sorts of fats. And there's also nutrients in animal products that an apple can't give you. You know, a an avocado can't give you. So it's important to have a well-rounded diet. So I am not completely for the carnivore diet. Like I said, I'm not on the carnivore diet myself. But sometimes when I see people on the carnivore diet and I see their skin and they're making sure, not just high protein now, I'm also talking about high fat, I think is important too, and also eating organ meats. I'm just kind of surprised. I just think like, wow, these people don't have big skincare regimens. They live very simply, but the big focus is that they go for pasture raised, grass fed sort of meat. They do tend to go for organ meats. Now, I don't know, the raw chicken guy, I don't know what his diet is. It was just a small segment, but at least all I know is that he does eat eggs and he does eat meat. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, just something I wanted to show you guys. I think that processed foods, the cookies and the cakes and the candy, like that kind of stuff, it sounds so cliche for me to say, but it truly is toxic stuff. I think having a high sugar diet, even in fruits, is not good. So yeah, sugar ages the skin. I've said this before. There's this thing called glycation. Let me show you guys this thing. Glycation. So it's when the sugar molecules, let me find this, sugar glycation bonds to the collagen. Damn it. See this? Collagen bonds with toxic sugar equals aged skin. And this is not a theory. This is actually what happens. So very important to keep your sugars in check. And I hear about people going on these like these smoothie diets, or I'm just going to eat fruits and vegetables, and I'm just going to have like lots of fruit because I love eating fruit. And sometimes you see them have advanced aging, and I believe it's because they're eating too much freaking sugar. Yes, fruits are healthy, but sugar is sugar. If you're eating a lot of sugar, it's going to raise up your blood sugar levels and the insulin stuff, and that just isn't good. But yeah, processed sugar, definitely limit that kind of stuff. Asra, she doesn't eat sugar. She eats just animal products throughout the day, and you can look at her, like, despite her eating pork belly and animal fats, and she cooks in tallow and things like that, she just eats beef fat, pork fat, and that's about it. She'll also eat clams or crab sometimes, at least that's what she showed in this vacation. But you can see it's just like it's like animal products that isn't processed, like none of this deep fried sugary syrup sort of thing. And she's not fat. She's not fat. Like you might think like a person who's just eating like pork belly all the time would be gaining a lot of weight. You guys can see in that clip, this woman ain't fat. And she also says that she doesn't work out. And I'm like, dang, she doesn't work out either? Frick. So yeah, when I used to eat a lot of carbohydrates, right, there was I think it was like last year, I was mostly, right, last year, was it last year, or am I losing track of time? But yeah, when Lewis was vegetarian, there was a period that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go low meat as well, because it's easier for me to just have like a similar diet. And I noticed that I was more padded, so I had more, I don't want to say I was fatter, but I had more padding on me. And now with my low carb diet and my pork belly diet, I had pork belly for dinner, and I didn't eat that much, and I'm already full, so I have leftovers for tomorrow. But I feel like I've been leaning up, and kind of surprising I've been leaning up. You would think that I would be gaining weight with all this, butter or pork belly and fatty food, but I'm not. I'm really not. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna go and read chat really quickly. And again, you guys can look at the video below in the descriptions to watch it. Hey,
what's that smell?
oh, I was cooking. Yeah, see, I mean, like, I don't know how, I'm kind of squeamish about the whole idea of eating brain, to be honest with you. Not really my top choice for stuff. Like, even organ meats. Like, I don't like the taste of organ meats. However, I do have some, what's it called? Grass-fed beef liver pills coming in. And I'm going to try it and see how that works with me. Because I feel like it's not bad if I have more organ meats inside me, right? Especially grass-fed stuff. So, yeah, I don't want to put too much salt in my food either. And I went kind of crazy on the pork belly today. I was like, too much freaking salt. Yeah. So even then, I tend to get heavy-handed because I look at the pork belly, right, and I'm like, oh, I should salt it, and it's just like habit of mine. I'm like, salt, salt, salt. Cook something, put some salt on there, and I really should try to lessen my salt or try to see how it tastes like with less salt. I don't even think I need that much salt in my diet. I put in more salt than I need, so. Yeah, I wanted to share this video with you guys just as a little thing. Some people might say like, oh, it's, it's his soap. I don't think it's his soap. Because it's like the soap wouldn't make a difference on that kind of stuff. Like, you don't have supple skin just because of your soap. I think that when it comes to skin health, you have to think about what's underneath your skin. You know, what's the health of your body? Do you have enough nutrition in there? And I think that if you have a higher fat diet, just my opinion, your skin is going to look more healthier. But it has to be not like deep fried stuff. It has to be like, air fried or, you can eat that raw, or you can put it in a slow cooker or boil it, that kind of stuff. But one thing Asra talks about is that she stresses that you should stay with this ratio about meat to fat, and she really does stick with that kind of thing. I think she says like 75% meat and 25% fat or something like that, or I forgot. I mean, I don't stick with proportions of meat. I just buy pork belly and I'm like, it looks good. It looks like it has as much fat as it can. So I just eat that. But, Astra is always improving herself. And I find her, I really look up to her. And I know some people think I'm crazy for that. But, like, I really look up to her because she's doing this and she's documenting her diet. And even when I look at her stuff, I'm like, dang, she's always evolving. And she doesn't try to sell you anything. She doesn't have like an ebook she's selling you. She just seems like she's a genuine person who wants to help people out and wants people to live a better life. And she doesn't like tell people to follow her diet. She just shares to people what she does. But when you look at her and when you see how she is, I kind of think like, man, she looks great. She looks great for 49. Sometimes I look at some of these people like Fully Raw Christina and I'm like, oh, geez, Louise, like, she should, being on her kind of diet, right? You would think like if you're making all these smoothies or if you're not cooking your food, people think that, oh, that should be super nutritious because you're having all these antioxidants, and you're having all these vitamins, and you're having this and you're having that, and if you're not cooking it, then everything is preserved in there. And she's buying, I don't know if she's buying organic, but even then, really should be the best diet ever. But look at her skin health. Her skin looks like she looks very sunken. She doesn't look like she has much fat on her. And, just terrible. It's like, I don't even know how you gain, I hate to sound like this, but it's like, how do you gain weight eating all those vegetables? And there's like only so many avocados you can eat in a day. And, and she supplements too. She supplements as well. So she takes a lot of like powders and powders and supplements. I know she works with this like vegan company of sorts. I forgot what it was, but she's not looking good. Oh, drinking and heavy smoking. Yeah, drinking and heavy smoking adds to that. But I think also the other thing too is like, what is your diet? You got to be mindful of diet, and you got to be mindful of sun damage as well, right? Like some people, it's like you see them, right? They eat like junk food and it doesn't show up on them, but after a while their skin looks very tired. They get increased eye bags, they get lines, they get fine lines, and it's like I don't believe in just applying the serum. Like I know it sounds funny for me to say because you always hear about me applying serum or doing fat waxes and stuff, but I think for true skin health, you need to target it from internal first, and then once you target it from internal first, then whatever you're putting on your skin, like a serum or a fat wax, then your skin will be even better. But if you think that just applying something to your skin is going to make your skin look like the best it ever is, I don't think that's the case. Like for some people, it's like they might have some deficiency somewhere down the line, right? And it's like you don't know unless you do a freaking blood test. But then, you know, they start getting fine lines and they start looking more haggard, and some people don't want to change their diet. And then when they don't want to change their diet, it just kind of catches up to them. So, yeah, anyway, I will talk to you guys later. You know, it's funny, I didn't even leave the house all day, and I had the window up for a little bit to ventilate the apartment, and I have a mosquito bite in my face, because that's how useless our screens are. Useless screens. Yeah, mosquito. I had all the screens closed, and I just opened the window halfway with the screen down, and I got a mosquito bite in my face. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, you guys.